My name is Sage Francis. Boing, oing, oing.
Hey, I'm not Sage. I'm Dibs.
I'm Dose.
Hey, I'm Slug.
I'm Buck.
And I'm Gel.
This is Prem Rock.
And this is Curly Castro.
This is Brother Ali, and you're watching DOD45.
45.
Keep it right here. There's a lot of things happening here that you're not going to get anywhere else.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? Stop what you're doing and listen.
DOD45. This is the DOD45 Show, drawing over discussions 45 minutes with a special guest. Welcome. I'm your host and resident artist, Ty of Art by Ty, joined by my awesome co-host, Adrienne Taiwali'i. In each of these DOD45 episodes, we sit down with a special guest, someone we admire and are inspired by, and we dive into meaningful discussions. But here's the twist. While we're chopping it up with our guest, I'll also be creating live artwork that unfolds in real time. I set a 45-minute timer, grab my pen, and create a one-of-a-kind piece of art for our guest while we chat. So stick around to experience the creative process in action, hear some great stories, and maybe even learn something new and unexpected about today's guest. Peace. DOD45. Hey folks.
People over.
Welcome to the DOD45 Show. Hope
you?
we can have a good time with you. This is a show where I do a drawing while we have an interview with a guest. Hope if you're in the live chat, having fun. Hey, Adrienne, how are you?
Yo, Adrienne. We did it.
How are you?
I'm alive and well. Hey, people, we need some reviews and stars on the episodes, so please take 5 minutes to do that on Spotify or Apple. Or you can get to the links to where to leave a review or rate the show at DOD45.com or in the profile of the Instagram page. Our guest today is Runsky, a.k.a. James Owens.
Maybe I'm nuts, maybe I'm losing it. It's because I don't feel like I used to, and I've been through enough to kill you. By the rocks in the summer sky, I can still feel the breezes, the rides on my skin, little looks and laughter. Shit I'm after, perched on the rooftop, the only thing that matters is how hard we kiss. Suck the air out my lungs.
We call him Runt. I don't even call him Runsky. I don't think I've ever called him Runsky. It feels weird to say Runsky. I call him Runt. I don't know. What do you call him?
I call him Mr. Tucson.
Mr. Tucson.
Mr. Brickbox.
He's a lyrical cactus king of Tucson.
Whoa.
Beer brewing bar wizard? No, maybe not. Poetic wordsmith? Absolutely. And returning champion of the DOD45 arena. Well, we never give away championship awards, but
now visual artist?
Yeah. Visual artist, yeah.
Written word visual art.
I don't, yeah. I don't know if you can call, yeah. Well, we're looking forward to that, but first I want to go through some things, if you don't mind, some announcements and administrative stuff. We just hosted the opening night of our 12x12 group show, Little Things. Not just, it was a couple of weeks ago. That was a big fun party that we had at our gallery, and it was came with music curated specifically for the opening night. Music that was done by Dibs, Dose One, and Mopes. Separately. Each one had their own music that they put together for the show. And so we played that live at the live event. That was really awesome. From opening night, we got a lot of red dots. We sold a lot of pieces, a lot of people's artworks. So that's a really cool thing. But now all the artwork that's still left over from the show is online at oldbluegng.com. And it's artwork from some terrific artists. So you go there and check it out. We have over, what's the statistics on that, Adrienne?
We had over 220 pieces, I'm pretty sure. We also it's also still open. The gallery is still open showing this show. So it's not just online, you can still pop in.
The gallery's in Hannibal, Missouri.
513 Street.
So if you're in Missouri, near Hannibal, Missouri.
513 Church Street, Hannibal, which is about an hour and a half north of St. Louis, 4 hours south of Chicago.
And
3 hours east of Kansas City. About what's over there?
Over where?
What's straight east? Hour and a half from Springfield, Illinois. How about that?
That sounds right. And I bring that up because Runt, our guest tonight, he actually has a piece in the show. That's what you were getting at. It's not like a visual art piece, though it is a piece that's framed, and it was a poem that he actually wrote, and it has an awesome impression stamp on it. What do you call those? Embossed.
And it was written, I think I would consider it an art piece. It's typed on a typewriter.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, Runt typed it on a typewriter. So yeah, it is a visual. It is a piece of art, but it's a poem.
Yes.
But you can hang it on your wall, and it is framed. And so we have that.
And he's asking a funny price for it, which I just love.
And you can find out that price and that piece at oldbluegng.com. Quick shout out real quick to some of our affiliates. Jake Hoffman from Wyoming Out Loud. He's a great photographer. Does a lot of he did a lot of Strange Famous Records live shows. So there's a lot of photographs that we use when we're talking about people from Strange Famous. That's the photographs that he's taken. So a quick shout out to him. Handsmade Collective. They're awesome for continuing to put out vinyl from musicians and celebrating independent music. Grow Haven, those are our friends up in Michigan. Those guys always share and post when we're posting, even from the DOD45 show or even from Art by
We'll be
Ty.
up in Michigan this weekend.
Did I mention their name? Grow Haven? Did I say that?
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah. In fact, he messaged me. He's going to come see us
cool.
in East Lansing this weekend.
Maybe we can have our little hemp talk.
Oh, yes. I never heard back from him about the hemp
Yeah, he was
discussion.
silent on that.
AWOL1, I'd like to give shout out to him and Speaker Face Store. AWOL1's up there, press over there in California. He's doing the duties, and also Underground Sound Magazine for keeping underground hip hop alive and the magazine culture alive. Shout out to Mr. Dibs because he's always got our back, and of course Strange Famous Records and Sage Francis because that's fam. Hey, I forgot to mention, we were supposed to be recording with a guest, a different guest today, and that was a knick-knack. He unfortunately had a medical emergency and wasn't able to join us today, so we're wishing him a speedy recovery and whatever else you say there.
Yeah, speedy recovery for sure.
Yeah.
And just wish him well.
Yeah, wishing him well. And then a big, huge thanks to Runt, because Runt stepping in to fill in for an episode so we could have an episode tonight. So thanks to all of those amazing people. I want to do this thing real quick. There's some new music out, and I want to share it at the top of the hour because it's music from past guests, and I want to continue to support these people because they took the time to join us on the DOD45 show. And I'm doing it at the top because people tend to drop off after the interview. Don't do that, you guys. Stick around. There's things still to be said after the discussion part. But whatever, I understand. You got things to do. Hey, so just pointing it out again, the episode is not over until after you've heard Blacklick's last words. So here's just some things I want to point out. So Buck65, he has a new album out. It's called Keep Moving.
The speed's harder than crack granite, faster than a jackrabbit. Let me take a whack at it. Flat jacket wearing rare, finicky veteran. I just won't quit. Call me Rickety Henderson.
Follow Buck65's Substack because he keeps that thing going pretty good, so you can understand what's going on. That's actually where I found out. Aesop Rock's new album. He's not a guest, but he's one of my favorite artists. He's got his album's going to come out. It drops this May 30th. It's called Black Hole Superette. The songs that I've heard so far are amazing. No surprise there. You've heard the songs as well.
Okay, fuck all that bullshit though. I'm picky. I only open books that glow. Who done it and cozy mysteries? Who stole the crypt keys? Who showed the minions to the mints?
Sage Francis, I know, is working hard on his new album. In fact, Adrienne and I and some people from Strange Famous in the Strange Famous chat, we all got to hear a little sneak peek of a song that Sage is working on, and it pulled some tears from my eyes. So yeah, it's a fucking really great track, and if that's a sign of what to come in his album, you will all be very happy. And then Ophius has a new album out called High Artifice on Strange Famous Records, and that is terrific.
Bear witness to the funeral. Business as usual in a business suit that isn't suitable. Now kids slip me albuterol to untighten my upper chest region. Been under stress, it's messing with my...
Yeah, his production is always amazing, and we're going to have him on at some point. I've talked to him. He said he's down. I just don't know exactly when, but sometime soon. That album has rap features from Sage, Buck 65, and Slug. They're all on one song. That's a really cool song. In fact, that's probably the song I've shared here. Also on that album, he's got Elda Sensei, Cool Keith, Blueprint. We're hoping to have Blueprint on soon. Black Lick, Soul, and Illogic. All past DOD45 guests.
Do we have Blueprint?
Not yet. Blueprint was going to be on.
Illogic's been on a
Yeah.
couple times.
Yep. And then there's a new track out by Yoni Wolf with Ophius, and that song is called Okrako.
I was thrown off and turned on by your blue nail polish. Seems like a dream, you and me on that twin bed. I was the only guest at your family.
I don't know how you pronounce it. Spell Okrakoke. Okrako. Maybe like Okra. No, because that's with a K. But yeah, that's a really cool song. It's classic Yoni, classic Ophius, and the two of them together are awesome. Then Black Lick's got a new album out with Dub Sonata. It's called Much Given, Much Tested. It is a fantastic fucking, I don't know how many minutes of music, but it's really, really good.
Hey, pretty good, man. Thanks for asking.
I'm not a people person, but people, they tend to love me. Even though I know they judge me, they hug me and say I'm lucky. I try to tell myself that there's something, it's really nothing. But if this is...
We missed the listening party that they had on Bandcamp the other night. Apologize for that. But it's really, really a terrific album. So congratulations to him on that album. And congratulations to him. He recently got married. So, yeah that's...
Sorry, ladies. He's off the market.
He's off the market. Unexpected. Wouldn't expect Black Lick to get married. I don't know why. I don't know why. And then Lee Reed's got his new album out called Pitchforks and Torches. That album is really punchy in the face, aggressive AF. AF. What if I said that more often? Nah, let's just say it's aggressive as fuck. It's really in your face. It's a terrific album.
You've all been stupid and your hopes are useless, borderline abusive, time after time proving that you're self-binding your obtuseness to lies that your party line's been using.
Get your hands on that. AWOL1 has a new song out called Take a Photo Picture.
Take a photo, crop out all the sadness. Barry told me, take care of my princess. Black roses in my garden. You're a trophy of the Lord's mercy.
It's a classic AWOL track. The Co-Defendants dropped a new single. All three guys are on there singing on it. That's Fat Mike, Chesky, and Sam King all sing on that. And the music video for that is really cool.
Self-saboteur since the day I was born. Self-saboteur since the day I was born. Self-saboteur since the day I was born. How many battles?
And I'm sharing that right now. You're seeing that, I hope. And that song's called The Wrong... Did I already say that? That song is called The Right Wrong Man.
I can't remember.
I can't either. But it's a fun music video. And then two other songs. Our man Staplemouth, he's on a track called DED or Dead. I'm not sure what they call the track, but it's D.E.D. He's on that track with Hobbs, Stay Busy, and Sentence from the Meter Maids.
Skeletons still clenching teeth in closets. Secrets stay animated while beating daisies in coffins. Look up to left and around the history encrypted self that kept you sane. The parts of you that kept you human, the hidden urgency.
And then Def C dropped a new track with Parallel Thought, and that song's called Casket Races.
Your dad's the county sheriff, who you calling a snitch? I'm plucking lashes out of evil eyes by the false fiber. Left brain string a bell, right half's Charles Minor.
All that music is amazing. Speaking of Def C, he jokingly mentioned on an episode that our episode that we did with him, that the Sophie's Choice kind of landed weird.
Def C did?
Yeah, he was the one that brought it up.
Oh, he said it.
Yeah, on the episode.
When we were in Chicago last year.
Yeah, and recently somebody messaged me who has artwork in the show, Paul Ides. He had said he was just watching the episode recently, and he's like, oh yeah, maybe it does seem a little insensitive calling him Sophie's Choice. I can't imagine anyone taking offense to it, but just to close the chapter on it and nip it in the bud, we're going to call our Sophie's Choice stuff Pick Your Poison. just in case. What the hell? It won't hurt us at all to make a change there. If it does seem insensitive, that's not my vibe. That's not the type of person we are here.
Is it insensitive to people who've been poisoned?
Maybe, but jeez, don't say that. God damn. You know what? There was another song that I wanted to add in here. Sleep of Old Dominion. He's got a new track out called Grimlet. Oh. And I love fucking listening to him rap. I just love that dude.
Watching the countdown to the meltdown, your fire, they putting it out now. Magical power spellbound, extinguish the love until hell's found. Till the voice of reason gets drowned out by the crowd's loud shouts.
He recently lost somebody very close to him, so I'd like to send a heartfelt condolences to him and hope the best for him and the people around him. Okay, there you go. Those are all the things that I wanted to get off off the top, so that I could share some music with you guys, and you're running to go get your hands on that if you don't have it already. And I did want to mention to you, Adrienne, I got a text message the other day from our old friend Paul Manley.
Oh.
And the text read this. Mm-hmm. Went on a date last night and she had your art up in her living room. I guess she's my girlfriend now.
Perfect.
And then I said, if it's an original, you got yourself a sugar mama and you better not let her get away. And then what I thought was funny is he texted back and he said, there's no way she has money. She's hot and not crazy. All three would break the space-time continuum. That's funny stuff. Anyway.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Small world.
Hey, I was going to just share with you guys a picture. I'll put it up on the screen right now. This is the finished drawing from our episode recording that we did with Justin Bua.
R.I.P. episode.
I don't know if you'll ever see Justin Bua on an episode of our show. We recorded a whole episode, and the file got corrupted. Had some issues with Zoom. It just took the time to do it, and so there's a picture. I'm also showing you. Here's the picture of all four of us. So what had happened is the first 30 minutes recorded, and that's when we are giving an intro to him, and then he logged on. So there's that. What you're looking at there, that's me, Adrienne, they're drawing, and Bua logging on, getting ready to have a discussion, and then the file corrupted from there on out. So I got none of the interview. Yeah. So I did reach out to him. He's a real busy guy. I said, if you want to do a quick recording with us again, I think I can get an episode out of it because I'd like people to see the drawing. I feel like that may not happen, so I just wanted to show you the drawing because I think the drawing turned out pretty cool. I did it based off of his two early Piano Man pieces. It's a combination of those two pieces of his.
And we're really grateful for him to put his work in our show.
Yeah, So
that was a big deal for us.
Yeah, we and that's why I also bring it up because again with the art show, little things,
which means they're all small
pieces. Bua gave us but he put two of his rare sketches in our show, and one of his was like one of the first pieces. Wasn't the first, but it was one of the first pieces to sell at the opening night. We still have one more of his pieces, I think, so you'll see that
online, and it's on the wall.
Yep. So yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll get him on, but it's highly doubtful. It was a cool chat, though. We learned some really cool things.
He's a nice guy.
But yeah, I doubt you see it. We're recording a episode with Eli next week from Grouch and Eli. He's got two pieces in the Little Things Gallery show. Basically, the point is this is a nice episode to remind you that the Little Things Gallery show at Old Blue Gallery is still up, and all the artwork there is still available. And we'd like to
just for 2 weeks. So
just for 2 more weeks.
Final 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and then we're moving on from that one and doing other things.
We're grateful to all the artists who put in work, and we're grateful to.
It was such a great show. Has been such a great show.
It is great.
Did you what?
Did I mention was that in this record? Did I mention Mr. Dibs, Mopes, and Dose One putting music in?
Yes.
Everything is such a blur because a lot of this stuff was information that we had put in at the beginning of Justin Bua's episode. So I feel like I'm saying things multiple times. But anyway, all right. We're fortunate to have made the connections that we have with people. And we're always grateful to everybody and anyone who goes in on things that Adrienne and I put together. So thank you, everybody. I was going to share something with...
Also... Oh.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, come with our crazy ideas that we have, and grateful. Also grateful to Cast One for doing our Old Blue Gallery.
Yeah, I was going to...
lead into that. That's what
I was going to lead into that
figured.
at the end of the episode.
But we'll just say it real quick. Stay tuned to the end of the episode. But his premiere, what is it? You tell me.
Cast One's Old Blue Live premiere for his performance at our gallery premieres tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have a place to be tomorrow as well.
Yeah, it's a 30-minute live performance from Cast One in our tiny little space.
Yeah,
and
no interview, nothing like that.
Nope.
It's just him on the mic.
Yep, him rapping to it's a very intimate show, small group of people in the gallery because we can't fit a bunch of people in the gallery, right. And it was a ton of fun, and that was recorded live in October of last year, and I just barely had the time to get it edited. Also, we don't want to be putting out so much stuff constantly. Yeah. So we kind of waited on it a little bit, and now's a perfect time to put it out. So yeah, that we talk a little bit more about that at the end of this episode. But be sure to set a reminder to catch them.
Also grateful to Cass for being
absolutely. I want to share. Maybe I'll just run through RUNT stuff. I've been real quickly. I want to share this Leontra loop. It's this scratch. These two guys. I just want to share this video on YouTube. It's called "Start from Scratch."
The best super mix.
And it's a mix. These two guys called it's pronounced Leontra Loop. They're a French duo, and I listen to their music in our booth in the gallery. I play it all the time because it's just the grooves are so awesome. And I usually get sick of stuff, but I have not got sick of it. And I just keep playing it over and over again. It's like an hour and a half long, or an hour and 45 minutes. But yeah, they do mashups of hip hop, dub, and dance hall. And it's really, really, really cool stuff. The Start from Scratch video that I'm talking about specifically is really interesting, but the music is even way more interesting than that. It looks like they look like two old dudes in suits making dope beats, but if you watch it, I don't know a whole lot about these guys. But I think they're wearing old man masks and old man costumes. But anyway, I dig them. I fucking love their mixes. I love the music they make. I see that they're currently on tour, but only in France and Belgium. But they have this other video out, and the whole video is a guy. I think this guy's part of it, but he's riding his scooter through the mountains of France for like an hour and a half through the whole set. Oh, and and the camera's following him, and then he runs out of gas, dumps the bike, and just starts walking and running. Oh. It's such a great video. And it's not like nothing else is happening but the music playing in that. Anyway, check those guys out. They're called Leontra Loop. And I'm really into them. Okay, all right. Let's cut into this. Let's get into our guest. I'll give you an intro, and then we'll have a chat with him. Our guest today is, like I mentioned, it's RUNT from JIVIN Scientists. He's the voice and word wrangler behind the long-running Tucson hip-hop group JIVIN Scientists. He's been a grinder since, I guess maybe I'm saying the early 2000s. He's got heaps of music, grounded, introspective, and refreshingly unthirsty. There's no gimmicks. It's just grit and grime and RUNT on the mic. Fen on the production, and it's just really, really my kind of jam, and RUNT is my kind of grinder, and I feel a real kinship with him. He's getting hands dirty in it all. We've spent time with him. Mm-hmm. We've gone down to Tucson. We mention it often, but we go down to Tucson about once to twice a year. And so we've been hanging out with him down there, and it's cool. I'm really fond of the guy. He's a rapper, a poet, a brewery owner, a community pillar, all those things. He's holding it down in Tucson, behind the mic and behind the bar.
Brewery is also a venue, so he's not just. I mean, he's also still supporting the arts. Yeah, not just creating art. Creating beer, he's also creating an environment and a location for Tucson for art to continue to live and thrive.
Yeah, it's called Brickbox Brewery. He's co-owner and operator of it. And that it is, like Adrienne said, it's a spot
In fact,
that's become like a hub for creatives and beer heads.
yeah, we should tell him if he doesn't have an event tomorrow, he could play Cass One's thing
Oh,
at the
yeah.
Brickbox.
Maybe tomorrow night.
Yeah, well,
Maybe right now you guys are all watching the episode. Hello, everybody at Brickbox.
Oh, you think? Oh, right.
Yeah, maybe you're just watching it right now.
Wait, when is
Tuesday
this?
night.
Tuesday, and then Wednesday he could play Cass.
Yeah, but I don't know what the hours are. But if you are open right now, hello, everybody at Brickbox.
Hi there.
Hello.
Have a agave pineapple something or other.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah. Pour one for me. Hey, I'll buy the first round. No, maybe not. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, those are things about a RUNT. That the Brickbox Brewery just turned 1 year old, I think, just recently, a couple of days ago. We recorded our 2024 Strange Famous Records Christmas episode there. Mm-hmm. That was a ton of fun. Mm-hmm. Like I mentioned before, RUNT also has a poem in the gallery show, and that's available on Old Blue G&G. It's proving that his pen moves beyond 16s. His poem, he's a poet.
Typewriter
Yeah, his typewriter, true. Like I said, it's been a real pleasure forming a friendship with him and Fen. We recently broke bread with them in Tucson, and soon we'll be breaking bed with them in Rhode Island. That sounds weird.
Gosh.
Soon we'll be sharing some space, Airbnb space with them in Rhode Island. He's strange famous till the grave takes us, and there are rumors swirling about new music on the horizon.
Ooh.
There really aren't rumors. I'm starting that rumor. Let's see if we can pry that out of him, though. Let me real quickly. I'll share some of RUNT's music that you should run and go get if you haven't already. The first two are off the Cicada album, "Last Stand" featuring Marley B.
Lord, we done made a demon blind fury on these beats, cause y'all don't even see them. Little bit of whiskey trying to baptize a heathen. World full of talent, but we don't even need them. Do it your motherfucking self, little brother. Cadillac skills with the Pendleton cover. Feels so good to be this far gone, so I etched this melody.
Marley B was a recent guest on the DOD45 show. That's a dope collaboration with Runsky's lyrical depth and Marley B's dynamic presence on full display. The energy in that is fucking super palpable. In fact, the energy in the whole Cicada album is palpable as all fuck. Another song off that one's called "Infinite."
I woke up in a sweat. Please forgive my brain as I try to forget. I watched and watched and watched, hypnotized by their cells. I'm punching a clock. I'm not a failed influencer or a self-help guru. I got rhyme spells and voodoo. Hear your sorry-ass words drip out your jaw. The full moon.
That's featuring our homie and DOD45 announcer AWOL1. And I believe AWOL1 and Pigeon John just performed at Brickbox Brewery for RUNT's birthday party, but I don't remember if that's happened or if it's about to happen or if
So
I'm
we
dreaming.
saw him back in probably February, March. It probably happened already.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't remember. Or maybe it was for I don't know. That's a driving track with introspective vibes. Both RUNT and AWOL1 deliver thought-provoking verses over a haunting beat. And then check out the song Push and Pull. Push and Pull. 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 That's what I said, but it sounded weird.
We're gonna need a bigger hole to bury all this hatred and lack of control. My insides are capsized, blood-filled dream eyes. Fools fall for love, so I'm trying to keep wise. Sharpen all the tools in the shed. Looking for emotion, I'ma tell you that it's better left for dead. Hold no service, serves no...
That's another killer track off the Thirsty album that captures the tension between opposing forces, both musically and lyrically. And I think it's a track portraying the difficulties of balancing personal and artistic struggles. That's what I get out of the lyrics. And then check out This Old World featuring JB and Lando Chill. I don't know if it's JB or Jabi.
You never can tell.
You never can tell the way people spell their names these days.
and we the kings of nonsense. Built from a land you can never understand. Fools to the masses with rose-colored glasses, painting old pictures, trying to outdo our madness. Push for fastest and speak for the weak. A fortunate life is the podium I speak, attached to the floor with an earth decor. And if you learn to close.
That's also another track off the Thirsty album. It's a collaborative effort that brings together diverse styles and perspectives. And then check out Place to Fall.
My angel don't got wings and we don't really get along that well, but oh hell, I don't really care, she don't really care, we don't really care. Obviously the opportunity has got the best of me, a loveless life sleeping next to me. Wasting time, a bit of confusion, heart abusing, a bit I'm losing with every touch, smiles, hugs and such, trying to determine what's what.
That's a deeply personal track that offers insight into vulnerability and resilience. And that one's off the Monsters album and also highlights Run's authenticity in his writing. Run's authenticity in his writing. He's very authentic. You can hear it in his words and the things that he says, in his delivery, all of it. You can feel that he's passionate, and you can really tell that Runt feels what he's saying, and I fucking super appreciate that. And then the final one I'll share with you is a song called Drugstore Spaceship.
I see butterflies a lot, it must be a good omen. I like to think it means that it's a person I'm still growing. Wild-eyed and optimistic, got a dream, go get it. When I said I loved you, I really meant it. Burn it down and clear it out for reconstruction. Under the assumption, we're all trying to really build something. Life worth living, a million more miles.
That's off their 2014 Morning After album. Got a laid-back rhythm and subtle instrumentation, creating a spacey, introspective atmosphere. That track has a narrative that metaphorically explores the desire to break free from the monotony of daily life, suggesting a juxtaposition between the mundane, a drugstore, and the fantastical spaceship.
Okay, you're going. I'm here.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes I got caught reading it, and sometimes I don't know if that's making sense.
I don't know if it is either.
It hints at the theme of seeking adventure or meaning beyond the ordinary, and I feel like Runt's lyrics in that song paint a picture of someone yearning for change or escape. I will say this, and then we'll get into it. Runt is a fucking hell of a writer and rapper, and Fenn's a hell of a producer, and I sincerely hope to hear more music from Jivin Scientists soon is better, but in the future, whenever. I hope to hear some more from them. And I guess if I stop babbling and we get on to our guest, we might find out if that's something that will be happening or not.
There you go.
All right, let's get to it. We'll be right back after this guest announcement and new segment from Adrienne and Cass 1.
Hey there, Cass. I'm curious, would you eat a pide? Pide is an ancient dish that dates back to the 15th century Ottoman Empire and is still a favorite food in Turkey today. Pide is a stuffed flatbread similar to a pita bread, shaped like an oval boat or a long canoe and filled with minced lamb that has been seasoned with cumin, sumac, and paprika. A Turkish yellow cheese similar to feta, fresh onions and tomatoes, and sometimes an egg, then baked in a wood fire oven. For a vegetarian version, you can get one with cheese, mushrooms, and spinach. Best of all, you can get these stuffed flatbread favorites for just $7.75, and you can get them for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So what do you think, Cass? Would you eat a pide?
Thanks for the question, Adrienne. Would I eat a pide? I think the answer is yeah, I would eat a pide. Predominantly because it looks like a pussy. Am I right, Runt? Am I right? Do you feel me on that, dog? Cover the children's ears. Fun little fact. My sister-in-law is Turkish, and I will eat any Turkish food that there is. I'll eat any Middle Eastern, Greek. I love anything that is, if it's in bread, I'm gonna eat it, especially if it looks like a pide does. You know what I'm saying?
Peace, world, and welcome to the DOD45. And today is very special because we're on Series 8. And you know what that means. we have a special guest. Yes, hold on to your radios and warm up to your favorite podcast, DOD45. I am AWOL1, your friendly neighborhood rap dude who likes to draw things. Have a great day.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? Stop what you're doing and listen.
DOD45. Welcome, Runt. Here he is, Runt. Welcome to the DOD45 show. Thanks for joining us again.
It's great to be back. I kept wondering when I was going to get my second episode, and now we're here.
And if you're someone like Cast One, he counts those.
No, that's why I'm in the same group chat. It's upsetting sometimes. I'm trying to think he's the top dog. I don't know.
I thought you've had your second.
No,
episode.
well,
I mean, I know you've been on several times with groups and things, but
no, yeah,
I guess it was.
We
just
had the
one.
discussion with you on the Strange Famous Fest.
Okay, I'm not counting those because
me either.
Yeah, right.
Cass doesn't count those.
No, he doesn't. Well, all right. So for the next 45 minutes, I'm going to draw you a picture while we chop it up. As you know, you mentioned for your drawing idea, the littles fighting the pound puppies. So,
yes,
I feel like Adrienne
should know the
littles. I barely remember the littles. I remember the cartoon kind of.
It's a small blip in time for sure. I think it was a Saturday morning cartoon for maybe a year or two.
And then was Pound Puppies a toy first and then a cartoon, or was it, or vice versa?
I think
it was a G.I. Joe thing where they made the toys and then had to make the cartoon to sell it.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing.
Oh, I did see the littles.
The Pound Puppy. I'm doing a Cooler. The guy's name is Cooler from Pound Puppies, and he's fighting against Dinky. I seem to remember. Was it you at Strange Famous Fest when you were performing? Was somebody wearing this headgear like Dinky, or was you, or were you wearing it?
No, there was some people in the crowd that had the guy was wearing this. It was kind of hot too. We played like afternoon. I remember being very hot.
Yeah.
And that guy had like some aviator hat on or something. He was there. He was there for the fest.
When you just said that it was hot, it sounded like you were saying like he was wearing the headgear and it was hot.
Oh yeah, I was into it. It was attractive.
So did you have Sorry. Did you have Pound Puppies?
No, I just remember the cartoon.
Okay.
I was a huge cartoon guy when I was a kid. I know most people were, but I lived kind of on the reservation, so I had maybe 7 channels. So the cartoons, when I could see them, were like at family houses or something, and they were always. It made me want to watch them even more because I didn't get to see them all the time.
Yeah.
So I think things that maybe for most people were just happening stuck in my head for a long time because I didn't.
When you say reservation, you mean like a legit reservation, like you weren't out on the reservation, you lived on a reservation.
Yeah, no, where we grew up in New Mexico, basically outside of Gallup was Navajo reservation, and my mom worked at a Navajo BIA school out there. She was a principal, so we stayed on school because it was a boarding school. So she had to stay on the premise, and we lived in this like weird kind of little housing complex.
Yeah.
Which oddly enough, that's where my homie Wake, the rapper from Albuquerque that passed away a while back, he actually lived behind me. His dad was the basketball coach. So we actually grew up together there in this weird little, just kind of a weird little town with a gas station literally on the reservation.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. Well, all right. I'm going to start the timer and get drawing on your drawing. It just gave me a little chuckle when you messaged me back quite quickly that was what you wanted, those two fighting. So
I feel like I'm good at if you give me something to run with, I will pull from random places in my head.
Yeah, well, it's funny. It gave me a chuckle, so I'm looking forward to drawing it. All right, cool. There we go. Let's bang it out. We're officially going. Timer set. We'll kick off with a few random icebreakers that we're now calling Pick Your Poison. All right, here we go. Would you rather open for James Taylor or close after James Brown?
Oh. Definitely open for James Taylor. Simply because, one, you can't close James Brown. That's impossible. And two, I'm named after sweet baby James. So the honor would be definitely, my mom would be real proud of me for that.
Yeah. What about, would you rather have Rick James as your bar back or James Earl Jones as your bouncer?
Ooh. James Earl Jones is bouncer. Rick James as a barback is not going to last long. It's going to be a problem. It would be a whole thing of I didn't do cocaine off that bar top. Yes, I did. I don't want to do it. Seems like too much.
And would you if you have James Earl Jones as the bouncer, would you have him wearing his gear that from Conan? You remember he had like the what's that haircut called?
The Caesar?
Caesar.
Yeah, that might be a little bit intimidating, which is what we're going for, I guess.
And then one more to kick for the icebreaker. Who's more handsome, James Dean or James Franco?
James Dean.
Yeah.
That's Americana right there.
Do you think, when we were growing up, I used to have a poster of James Dean. Like there was like, I don't know, that whole James Dean thing was really awesome, but I feel like that's probably gone away now.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of marketing when we were kids from I remember if you went into the mall and there was a poster store, they would have James Dean next to a motorcycle, Marilyn Monroe.
Yes.
A lot of money got made off of that.
In front of a diner.
Yeah. Scarface, Godfather.
Totally.
But that seems to have gone just completely gone away. That sort of marketing thing or something, or I don't know. Maybe people just aren't
romanticizing that old Hollywood. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe Hollywood's not as romanticized as
you get too much of it too quickly though. I mean,
now
you had something you were focused on it. There was a moment when you saw Marilyn Monroe and you were like, "Ooh!" Now you see that so quickly. You don't have to go to the movie theater to go see something.
Now it's YouTube that's romanticized.
That's true. Well, we're on YouTube right now. Is anyone out there romanticizing about us?
There could be posters of us right now being made.
It'd be awesome being sold in Taiwan.
Have you seen I think we talked about this, but they're oh crap, I can't think of where they're at. I'll find it out and send it to you. But it's this guy overseas that never sees movies, but he makes movie posters for them.
Oh, that's great.
They're always really over the top, violent, but they're hand painted and stuff. I have to send them to you.
That's funny. Do they line up with the movie at all?
No, not at all. It'll be like Batman, and it's just Batman in the mask, and then he's holding the head of the Joker, and it'll just be random thing. It's like the guy never watches the movie, but then makes these movie posters out.
Yeah,
that's cool. I like that.
I'll send you a link to it because it's really good.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. Hey, can you sleep with socks on?
No, socks on. Definitely.
Even if you had a night out.
On?
No, I can't. I don't think I can. In the winter, sometimes I can get into bed with them, but then I take them halfway off, so they're
ooh,
that's weird.
Over.
I can't do half. I do sleep with them on in the winter because our bedroom's about 40 degrees.
Yeah, it is cold.
Do you just have them kind of flopping off the end of the foot? Like a limp sock?
That's how I do it.
I think one of my brothers used to walk around like that, and it used to make me crazy.
That's just back when you couldn't afford new socks because you're growing too fast. So the tube would just slowly sink down.
I don't know if we talked about this on some episode before, but we have this basket of socks down in our laundry room, and they're just socks that no one's claimed. But it's like a fucking laundry basket full, and I've asked everybody in the family, and people are like, none of those are mine. And so I'm like, I don't know where the fuck they're coming from.
Most people can't find their socks. You have a surplus.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe there's maybe the washing or the dryer is a transport, what do you call them?
Yeah, it's a portal.
A portal. And we're getting everybody's.
My socks are there somehow.
Maybe I should start listing them on eBay.
No, just list them and say, are these your socks? Oh, you know how like you put out a lost dog kind of poster or something? Like you can put out found socks.
Here it is. And take this and run with it. An app for matching socks like Tinder.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you post your one sock and you look for the other sock.
Yeah, it's great. We need that.
When you match, you can send it to them.
Yes.
And
I like it.
I think what Runt's saying right now is he's got enough on his plate, so somebody else out there take that and run with it.
Not making a sock match app.
No.
Hey, what about this? How do you eat corn? Typewriter style or like full on beast mode?
Slowly, typewriter style. I've seen too many of those videos with the drill
Oh.
where the teeth pop out because it's going too fast.
Oh.
It makes me nervous.
Who do people try to do that? Like chomp on a drill bit?
I feel like you have not been on the internet at all, and I'm worried
I
about
don't.
you.
I've avoided it.
Also, what's wrong with my algorithm that's just showing me people eating corn and the teeth getting knocked out?
Well, that's the kind of algorithm I like.
It's good.
Yeah, I like that shit. I don't want any of the other stuff. All right, let's. I think.
But I will say you also eat it on pizza.
Corn?
I know this.
Or
about
Runt does?
Yeah.
They eat corn on pizza?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Adrienne
Hello,
doesn't think-
that's a thing here.
It is a thing there. It's
Also-
a thing in the UK as well.
Really? On pizza?
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes sense. We do. It's good.
I think it's. I'll eat corn. Whatever. What about cream of corn on pizza? I mean, I'd go for that. Fuck it. I like cream of corn.
I feel like cream of corn. I like cream of corn too. Almost everyone I know dislikes cream of corn.
Me too. Everybody we know is a cream of corn hater. Fuck you, people.
I think Finn, the sleeping beast, is awoken. See his little head?
Oh, there he is. Yeah. Hey. How's it going, Finn?
Good. How you doing?
He's peeking around the corner. He's only top half. Are you standing there in your boxers? Or you didn't want to. Or you found both. You found both pairs of socks.
Oh yeah, we're talking about the socks missing.
Hey yo.
He's got him on all the way.
Oh yeah, the dog just coming home after getting his nuts chopped.
Oh yeah.
Been dealing with that all day.
Is this real?
Well, that sucks. I appreciate you taking the time to fill in for us too. Yeah.
The dog.
Hey, Finn.
The dog's super high. He's not. He's fine.
The dog's happy. Bye, Finn.
Bye.
All right, let's hit you with a few music and process questions. What is your writing process these days? Are you still chasing lightning, or are you forcing the storm now?
I feel like for when we did Cicada, there was moments of lightning and moments of chasing the storm for sure. As of lately, this last year, I kind of only have time for the lightning moments. Just with the buying the brewery and the job and stuff. But I did yesterday, not even 2 days ago, I started a song that Early Adopted produced. I've got a verse done. I just need to record for Cass. So I'm finding being a part of Strange Famous has helped us out a lot because I can't really sit down and focus, but if I'm doing it in conjunction with somebody else, it's gives me more energy to get it done. So I think right now it's more lightning and less chasing, just because I don't have the time, really, to be honest.
Yeah, that makes sense. Wow, yeah, and you jumped on that early, real quick, because I feel like in the chat he said I have beats, and you were like, "Hey, I'll take something."
I think beats are the hard thing, right? Like and whenever we're lucky enough to be in this talented pool of people that do so many different things and do them well, that gets offered up. I'm so excited to hop on that, whatever it is. It's like, I'm constantly bugging Mopes about sending me stuff, and I've done some stuff with them, and it's everybody that we talk to are just so talented that in my head, I just want to work with them somehow, whatever it is.
Yeah. It's a good thing to do. Yeah, it's a good plan. What about how do you know when a verse is done? Are you still tweaking lines and songs you released 10 years ago?
sometimes a song can take me literally a year to write. I might write it and then, change parts of it. I do enjoy writing a song. When I write it, I keep repeating it. So I can't really write a verse and then write a second verse. Like every time I'm starting to work on the next couple of lines, I start the song over and re-deliver it all the way through.
Oh, yeah.
That always helps me to memorize, but I also feel like it keeps this cohesive train of thought, right?
Yeah, like a continuity from...
Because I've had times in the past where I wrote a second lyric a day later and it just didn't feel right. It doesn't fit, It's not the same conversation, if you will. It changes. Yeah. So I think that sometimes I'll write a song, in 5 minutes. I've done that before. And sometimes it takes quite a while to keep molding it. I feel like the things I really care about and really have been proud of and put out, those have all taken a little bit to get done right.
Does owning a brewery scratch any of the same itches as creating music? Well, I guess it's just a totally different beast.
I think that there's the writing mind, right, or the thought process. I think that once you learn to utilize that in different aspects of your life, you can still have fun with what you're doing, but it also will make you very effective at what you're doing. Like, I don't have a business background at all, so I think that I'm able to approach problems in kind of a creative way that most people wouldn't, because the way that my mind works is, from a writing standpoint, where there's nothing I can't do. It's just a matter of what that transition looks like, what that plan looks like. So I think I still utilize that, but I do it in a different way. I'm just more creative with how I solve problems than most people. And I think that comes from, having to be creative my whole life.
Yeah. Creating something from nothing.
You're also
image.
You're also really quick.
On your feet, thinker.
That's all because.
Well, I mean, so when I'm not very quick, but you're quick getting the words out of your mouth and clever, because I've seen you tend bar when you're there and you're good with the people. You're quick, you're funny, you're approachable, and that probably has to do with. I mean, I don't know. That's just you, but also freestyling and being quick and being able to just, flow off the top of your head is.
Yeah. I mean, helpful. And again, that's right. Like everything I grew up doing, applying that to what my job is. But I do think the banter part is definitely, a lot of that is derived from the freestyling growing up and like reading the opponent, if you will, or the guest, like knowing what they want. Some people want a good old, like Jim, the good old boy, like you want the guy from Oklahoma to talk to you about the car or what,
Uh-huh.
And then some people want the like very empathetic, soft-hearted person. And a lot of that job does require you reading that person and putting yourself in a position to be what they need, because you really are just adapting to what they need at that moment,
Yeah.
And I think some people who don't understand, for lack of a better term, bar life, I mean, it's what it is. It's like a place to go to feel like you're not, well, shit. I don't, everyone has their own reasons of why they go to a bar, but I think some people don't understand bar existence.
It's guaranteed social engagement that you're not, that's the thing is you guys, like the two of you, right? You do all this traveling, and when you walk into a bar, you're going to be engaged in some way or form, even if it's just with the bartender, but you're also going to find it's a doorway to, cool, where am I going to go get dinner? They know where to go eat. Or you're going to meet someone while you're at the bar that's like, oh, you guys are visiting. Here's where you should go. Or, vice versa. Maybe they come to your booth and buy stuff. It's one of the oldest forms of social engagement that hasn't changed at all. And it's one of the oldest forms of like a space for people when they're feeling lonely to go that, there isn't an expectation. There isn't like an end goal. And I think that's why bars are always going to be around and always have been.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a sense of community
It really is for some people.
when you don't have anything.
Yeah, I mean,
As
some
well
people
as
go
when
to
you do.
church. Some people go to a brewery.
Yeah.
Some people, some people are in a book club. Like it's you
Fucking nerds.
nerds.
Just kidding.
Go to the bar.
What's the most Tucson line you've ever written? Do you have one?
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely. I think I have a song called "Watermelon Sunshine." There's a line that doesn't even say Tucson in it, but it's about how the sky turns into kind of like this watermelon color, That's probably, I think, everyone that ever moves here, it's the first thing they do. You have a summer afternoon and they literally look at the sky and take a photo and post it because it's one of the most beautiful skies.
You're supposed to preach when you never learn to think beyond what you need and below a noble stature. Looking for that fame, it's the infinite we after. And that's a lifetime of every day getting mine. Learn to stand tall in this watermelon sunshine. Green grass beneath me, waiting for you to meet me on the side where the smiles all sit.
But yeah, just about how I think the city itself with the desert, I think naming that song and writing it almost stuck in that world of the sunset, That's probably the most Tucson line I've got that I can think of. There's definitely street names dropped and places dropped everywhere.
Yeah. What about if you could redo one Jivin' Scientist track today with your current mindset and voice? Which would it be?
There's an old one called Bridget Falls.
She built a bridge, it falls down into a green room wall sound. Sing like angels crying, dying, one at a time, over one beauty, and it covers my mind. But it smiles are a million miles away. As soon as he calls and ruins my day, have to learn to accept the truth that my soulmate is not foolproof. We got weaknesses, and mine is loving her.
That was really popular for us for a while. I wouldn't mind hearing that done with the capability that Finn has now recording wise. Some of our older stuff, the quality of it is just, I think the songs are decent, but we were recording on not the best equipment. So I think, and Finn's ear too has grown so much that I think that it'd be really neat to hear some of those songs redone with the
Is that something that you would ever consider doing?
I feel like it's like redrawing a portrait for you. Like you've already done it, right?
Yeah.
Could you do it better now? Probably, but wouldn't you want to spend that energy like in a new direction? I don't know.
For me, usually, but I have gone back to some drawings that I was like, that shit needed the better line work, and I think I think I can express it better than how I did the first time. So I definitely have. I don't love to do it. I like going with new ideas, but I was even when I was asking you that, I was running through my mind if I've done something like that, and I have several times, like stuff that I drew in junior high that I was like, I loved that concept because it's hard to get that energy. That energy I had when I was younger was that raw angst energy that's hard to grasp at my age now, where there's some success and stuff like that. It's hard to grab a hold of that.
Do you feel like, so you draw, I would argue, more now than you ever have in your life?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you feel like there's a like talent wise, there's kind of this shotgun spread because how frequently you're doing it? Over, if you were to focus 1 month on one drawing, do you think that would be a more talented drawing? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, do you feel like you're doing things so rapidly? Are you doing them to the best of your ability, I guess is what I'm getting at?
During the pandemic, when I was doing the drawing videos, where I was doing like 20-minute or one hour drawing videos, or even when I'm doing the show, I cut corners. It's not the best work, but that's why my winters are for, to do my pieces where I put a lot of work in. However, that being said, when I'm banging out a whole bunch of sketches just as part of the practice, I'm better by the end of the month. So if I start doing a whole bunch of drawings in the first few weeks, by the end of the month, all the muscles, all the memory and all that stuff is all rapidly firing and it's all better.
I'll say he worked for at least a month on this thing for Dibs, right? That thing that you did.
The video?
It was the
drawing.
drawing.
Yeah, the drawing.
Really it's really intense, and it took forever. And it's not released yet.
Oh, that's the part 3.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's really good.
Oh, thank you. Wow, look at that. I got a compliment from Adrienne. Well, this episode's not about me.
There we go. We're done. See you later, folks. DOD45's done. It was just you trying to get one compliment from Adrienne.
Yep. It all just blew up. Everything just, the end of space.
You're going to throw that back in your face later, for sure. Remember when you said I was really good?
I would never dare.
Whatever.
What's your vibe on performing these days? Are you craving it, avoiding it, or somewhere in the middle of that?
Craving it, for sure. We're doing Pigeon John at AWOL 1 at the end of the month here at Brickbox.
Oh, okay.
Excited about that. I find myself more so lately. A tour showed up yesterday from LA. They pulled up in the white van. They all unloaded, and I immediately found myself wanting to do that.
Yeah.
I'm starting to crave it again, for sure. I think that it's such a healthy part of my life. It's such a relief, an empowering part of my life that I've been out of it for a while. I haven't been on the road in 2 years, like a real run. So yeah, I'm starting to get anxious about it again, and I really would love to be performing more this year. So I'm hoping to get some of that going, for sure. We did Talib Kweli 2 months ago here in Tucson, and that was great. I mean, just getting to be on stage and play again, it's something that I definitely am missing and can't wait to start doing more of.
Hey, what's your go-to save when you return a wave that wasn't yours? Do you own it or pretend you were fixing your hair?
I own it. I just keep my man all the way. I'd rather that we walk away from that interaction and your response is like, I wasn't waving at you. That's way better than, I feel like I have ground to stand on. I can be like, well, why are you just waving at random people? You did that. I'm going to wave back because I'm nice.
I have a real hard time getting embarrassed, so I know I'll do like I was fixing my hair.
That's so worse.
It is. It really is worse. But for some reason, I think I don't know.
If you wave at a random stranger and they wave back, you've made a new friend, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if now they're like, oh, I don't want to know you. I don't want to be your friend. My hair's messed up. Like, it's worse to me.
That's true.
I wave to people that I know, and then they don't wave back.
They just don't like you.
I'm like, it's okay. To wave.
How many unread texts are too many?
2 or 3 for sure. I think I have to stay on top of stuff for work. I can't let texts go unread. I'm always in panic because each one of those texts could be something. My alarm's going off, or any number of things. But
yeah, could be something very important that if you don't attend to it immediately. Sage is lurked, so let's hear from him. What Sage Francis's social media lurk, brought to us by Strange Famous Records with DJ Zoll theme music.
Sage Francis social media lurk.
First off, happy first birthday to Brickbox, your brewery in Tucson, Arizona. Keeping a business open, one like that is not easy. I wish you the best moving forward. So I lurked, couldn't lurk your IG. You wiped it pretty much clean except for 3 posts.
But so I went to the Jivin Scientists Facebook page. Scroll. 2014, June 14th, 2014, you made a post on a day off from tour where you were talking about the hotel room you were staying in, which didn't have great accommodations. It was what Black Lick would call a hood hotel. Now, I've stayed. Oh, also, you suggested to touring musicians that, you know, you have to cut corners. It's good to cut corners. Save money where you can, make money however you can. And I ascribe to that belief 100%, even to this day. It's 2025. I've toured the majority of my adult life. And when I have hotels to book, I'm on Expedia looking for the cheapest option closest to the venue. I immediately look at the reviews, the worst reviews, and I'm typically like, I can deal with that. That's okay. And the last hotel I stayed in was in Santa Cruz, Hood Hotel, Motel 6. And I chose it because I recently learned that Motel 6 offers free internet, which for so long they would charge $5 for shitty internet. And I always stayed away from them. But so I've booked two in this past year, and this was a ratchet hotel. And my wife said that when I told her where I was staying, I was going to California. She said, "That I looked at the reviews. That looks like a really ratchet hotel." And I was like, I've dealt with ratcheter, but it really was up there. It really was one of the worst hotels I stayed at. I basically, they refused to give me towels for some reason. I had to steal one off of one of the housekeeper's cart. And I don't want to talk about what I saw there. It was pretty bad stuff. But I survived. And men like us, we look intimidating when we need to. We also know to keep to ourselves when we need to. So I just want to ask you the most ratchet hotel experience you've had. If there's any great story about that. If not, whatever. I love you, Runt, and I love you, DOD45. Strange Famous! Out!
Is that not the hotel that he wrote this new song in?
Oh, yes. I think it might be, actually. Right? Yes. Yeah.
I don't know if we're supposed to talk about that, but I just...
Well, we brought it up in the intro that we heard a song that Sage shared, but and it's a really fantastic, but I'm guessing maybe that was.
Just want to point out the importance of staying in a ratchet hotel.
There you go.
Well, Bill, before you answer, thanks, Sage and Strange Famous and Zol. Now, how do you respond to Sage's lurk?
Tons of bad hotels. We've never been headliners. We've never gotten money to stay anywhere. Hotel rooms are usually every other day for us when we used to tour a lot. So a lot of bad places. One of the worst, I think, that I'll never forget. We were playing a show in Houston, Texas, leaving Austin to go to Houston. And back then we would just had an atlas, like a map to look at.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I remember looking at the map and thinking, oh yeah, Austin to Houston. This will be a quick drive. This won't be a problem. Because it looked like it on the map. It definitely took a little bit longer than we thought. So we drove through the night and we came into the Houston, has this huge meeting area on the highway that's just like 8 lanes, crazy busy. We used to have this big 16-passenger van. So I've got 10 people in this van. We're coming in at like 5 a.m. rush hour, cars all around us, just nerve shot. And we had booked Motel 6 in Houston. We're all beat. We're all tired. We got one room. There's 10 of us. So the idea was get in this room. Who could sleep, and then take showers for everybody, and then just kill time until the venue was going to let us load in. As we pull in, we get our keys and stuff, drive around to park in front of the room, and we get out. And as we get out, there's just a pool of blood on the concrete. So we start walking up the stairs, and there's a trail of blood up the stairs towards where we're going. And the room right next to ours, there's a giant hole in the window, and that's where the blood's coming from.
Oh my God.
So we get into the room, and my brother Deco at the time, he's our founding DJ. He's like, shit, we should tell somebody about this. Looks bad, you know? He proceeds to call the front desk. The lady said, "What's wrong? Are you scared?" And tells him that. So he's just like, "Oh, no, I'm fine. I just thought you should know." He hangs up. So everybody's kind of uneasy. It's a weird, it's Houston. It's H-town, scary.
Yeah.
Shit going on everywhere. It's by far, I've been to LA. I've been to a ton of places. Houston was the most complicated space I've been in.
Yeah, the Fifth Ward boys.
Yeah, it was intense. And so that was the start of it. We went to play the show, and we came back. And as we came back there, and I'm not exaggerating, there was our hotel room was on the top floor. There was rooms on the bottom, and there was 3 or 4 guys standing in a line outside of one of the rooms. And then a very strong looking person at the door of that exact same room. And it was a pimp, and there was some things going on in the room.
Yeah.
And he proceeded to see us parked near the room, walked up, asked us if we were needed any company for the evening, which we immediately said, no, we're fine. And then proceeded to question us about what kind of gear was in the car and all this stuff.
Oh, shit.
Luckily, there was enough of us. My homie French ended up staying in the car that night, and he was just kind of like, the stories he had of that were pretty interesting, just of all the noise and the traffic. But yeah, the Houston on a Friday night at a Motel 6 in the middle of everything, that was probably the most eventful hotel stay that I've been.
Yeah, that sounds like, you know what? Any hotel story almost always starts off with at a Motel 6.
Yep. And I don't know what it is, but they are cheap.
They're it's like $22.
Yeah, they haven't changed.
Yeah.
Inflation
They might be a bit more now. Yeah.
There's something very powerful about getting a nice night of sleep, having a nice restroom. You wake up refreshed.
There's regardless of your thoughts on Hotel 6, or Motel 6, I guarantee you, every traveling musician, that place has been paradise more than once to them. There's when you are at that level and nothing's paid for, sometimes just having a room to close your eyes and not be worried, and a bathroom to use and not be worried, in the shower, it can mean the world, because you really genuinely are out chasing your dreams and no one cares. And that's something as simple as lodging and a shower and cleaning up.
Yeah,
those
it's huge.
It's so much.
And then the first time you get
we stayed
bed bugs.
We never got bed bugs
at a Motel 6.
But we stayed at Motel 6s all the time because they were the only ones to allow 2 big dogs. And well, that wasn't the only reason. That was a huge part. The price was great too, but we had a Great Pyrenees and then another big huge dog. So and our kids,
they're like, cool, protect yourself. It is scary. Bring your dogs.
Bring your dogs.
They give you a discount for bringing guard dogs.
They were free.
Yep.
The internet apparently isn't, but the dogs are.
Hey, do you feel more like a rapper who owns a bar or a bar owner who raps?
Bar owner who raps. None of the kids that play in my bar have any idea who I am ever.
Oh, I did want to ask that. Like, have you ever had somebody come in, ordering drinks, and then find out in real time that you are the runt of Jivin Scientists?
My regulars love to tell people as soon as they sit down, and it's cool. That's always a hard one, because if they're really about it and they go digging, then they come back and they're like, "You didn't tell me it's all this stuff," and I'm like, "What am I going to do?" Like, "Hey, welcome to Brickbox. I'm Runt. I don't know if you know that or not. Go ahead and go look up all my stuff." and then come back and then we'll catch up. Like it is a weird thing.
How long can you hold eye contact before it gets weird for you?
Pretty long. I can win a staring contest for sure.
It's important.
I'm not scared. What you're gonna do is fall in love with these hazel eyes, and that's on you.
What about if you were part of a crime family? Who would you rather have the head of that family, Edward James Olmos or James Gandolfini?
Ooh, I'm gonna go Edward James Olmos.
Yeah, he's so G.
So he'll be calm.
Yeah, I like that, dude. If you were mentoring someone just starting out, what's one truth you'd definitely pass down and one lesson you'd purposely leave out?
I would leave out the fact that it's different than you thought it would be. I think that's one of the best parts about whatever your journey is in life creatively, is that if you talk to the person in the beginning of their career or their efforts, they're like, this is what making it's going to feel like.
Yeah.
I think I would leave that out because that surprise where you find gratitude and gratefulness in this unorthodox way things turned out. I think that's one of the most magical parts of, being creative.
Mm-hmm.
So I would leave that part out. I would tell them whatever it is you're dreaming about, go for it. It's going to be like that. Advice I would give them. Be about your word. In the end, that's the most important thing, I think. Just as long as you're a person of, you've been truthful about what your intentions are and where you're headed, I think that that'll keep you on the correct path, whatever that path may be. But I think be about your word. If you tell people you're this person, be that person. Because in the end, people are going to find out who you are regardless. So
yeah. In the end, that's all you'll have. Everyone reaches some sort of end of whatever they're chasing, and
and you don't want to be, you don't want to look back and I wrote this song 7 years ago that I absolutely hate cats, and then now I own a cat. You don't want to be that guy.
How do you explain it? Would you rather be in a buddy cop movie with Clive Owen or a rom-com with Owen Wilson?
Oh, rom-com Owen Wilson. Yeah.
Do you ever pretend to be on your phone so you don't have to talk to someone? Yep. Have you ever?
Definitely.
Me too. I love that move.
Yeah. Long time. Yeah. Hello.
He's good at it.
You are good.
I'll be right back.
What is this? Sorry.
Yeah, I do that. I do that at work a lot.
And that's funny. It's funny that just happened because Adrienne's phone did go off, and she actually literally does have to answer it. Someone at our Ring doorbell.
Oh my gosh.
An episode almost isn't quite an episode without a question from Dibs. Oh man, I know he was definitely wanting to get one in. Just hit him too late.
Hey, it's okay. Maybe I can ask Dibs a question and he can answer.
Well, I don't know if I'll have time to edit it, but why don't you do it? Why don't you ask him a question right now and let's see if I can get it.
Give it up, Mr. Dibs on the turntable.
Listen to more of this.
Here's the Dibs question. All right. Dibs, when you were in Tucson, which for some odd reason you seem to be every once in a while in your life, you found yourself in a lot of situations that are exciting, and I'm sure you do that with most things in life. So I'm just wondering if you found yourself in a desert town close to the Mexican border and was in a bar where they're serving heavy drinks of the alcoholic beverage type, and you were to partake in them, and found yourself getting intoxicated enough to wake up on the south side of the border in a pool of ice with a numbness in the lower portion of your body. Would you call a family member, or would you try to call the equivalent of 911? And with that being said, mail or miracle?
That was a good question. Yeah, I am occasionally in Tucson. None of your fucking business. About 4 times a year. None of your fucking business again. That's why you don't know I'm there when I'm there. Let's pretend that this has never happened to me before. And here's how that kind of goes. You're south of the border. You wake up south of the border on accident. I mean, look at the meat. There's some organs in here. This is some prime real estate. Or not.
Prime rib estate.
Rib estate, yes. Aside, they were all broken, but that's neither here nor there. So I envision that I'm waking up in a lukewarm ice pool, because that's just how it feels like if I was across the border. It'd be icy, but it would also not be that cold.
Tepid.
Maybe it's like dry ice and it burns a little bit.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
So you're just laying there. And then you realize that initially they were going for your liver, but they cut the spleen side. And they're like, well, that's not the liver. And then they go for your liver. Let's say this is 20 years ago. They go for your liver, and 20 years ago, they just find, this is my liver. And they're like, we can't use that. So they stitch you up, and now I'm just laying there, and I slowly come to. Nobody's around, and I just kind of stumble outside, and I'm looking for a phone, which a young man named Daryl controlled the local payphone. There was no cell phones back then. And I asked him if I could use the payphone. And he said, sure. Who are you calling? I'm like, I'm going to call my mother-in-law, Ida, who happens to live in Tucson. And she is going to say something to her husband, Pat. And then Pat's going to make a phone call. And then some guys are going to come and show up and casually come into town and very easily take me out. But first, we're going to stop at the Mexican delicatessen. And we're going to order a runt. And anybody that's ever been just south of the border in Tucson knows everyone's favorite sandwich is called a runt. It is made with marbled rye that's slightly moldy but toasted to perfection. It's got beaver meat on it and dolphin shreds. I mean, it does. It is. It's got goose cheese. I don't know if you ever milked a goose, Adrienne?
Just the once.
The cheese is amazing. It's like a combination of a burning foot and a dirty butthole.
Yum.
And then because the person that owns the deli is kind of like the only hipster there in northern Mexico, they give you some arugula, but, well, yeah, it's arugula, and some sprouts. And there's no tomato, there's no onions, but there's slices of potato that go on there because that's a thing, because that's why it's called the runt. It has something to do with potatoes, his boobs, or his satchel. And they were like, the potatoes resemble Runt's anatomy, and so I can only think that's nuts or tits. And then they go Miracle Whip or mayo. Here's the question has to go back to you two. When you sent me secretly a jar of Miracle Whip, did you remember what Miracle Whip used to taste like, or did you just order it?
I haven't had Miracle Whip since I was in high school.
Same. So when I got your mystery Miracle Whip and I hid it so Ray wouldn't find it and throw it out anyway, it's still in there. I'm like, cool, I'm going to put Miracle Whip on whatever's smoking. So whatever random fucking three-week-old meat, you're at the store and you can't find food, but they have like, at the deli, there's like salami.
Yeah.
You buy it and then you basically feed it to the dogs, and then there's just this little chunk of it left, and now you have Miracle Whip and like some shitty cheese, and you make the sandwich and you're like, oh, I'm going to try this Miracle Whip, and you put it on there and it smells the same. You're like, this is going to be great. And you take a bite and it tastes like death. It tastes like someone burnt plastic and put sugar on it.
Yeah.
And I battled my way through it because I wanted to have that, when I was a kid, Miracle Whip bologna thing, like that was fine. Miracle Whip is a bad choice. And it's my segment. I'm telling you, it's a bad choice. But apparently, everyone that answers Miracle Whip hasn't had Miracle Whip in like 20 years.
I'm guessing that must
got to be a fact. So I would, you know what I would put on it? I would put there is the special sauce, you know, like in Step Brothers.
Yeah.
I would put that on my run sandwich.
Yeah, that's good.
And then I would open face run it through the grill, which means I would sit it in the sun because they don't have a grill. And then I would eat that. And then my mother-in-law's husband and friends would roll me back into Tucson, and I'd show up at Runt's house for some sugary root beer goodness.
Yep. Some Jesus jizz.
Perfect.
And that would heal up all wounds. Well, that's a great answer and a great flip to the script. Let me before we check out, who's pulling it off better? James Harden with James Hetfield's hair from the 80s, or James Hetfield now with James Harden's beard? Who's pulling that off better?
I feel like Hetfield looks like a fucking dirty Brillo pad. Like, it doesn't mesh. Harden, it's almost believable-ish. I'll go Harden for the win. Also, you know, it kind of looks like a girl I dated in high school.
Beard and all?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in Cincinnati, so yeah.
All right, well, thanks for fucking swinging in on this one. Thanks for everything.
3, 4.
Great. Good on you. Well, thanks, Runt, for the Mr. Dibs question. Well, let me hit you with a few more questions.
Dibs.
Yeah, he's going for it. What's something Tucson's music scene really gets right that more cities should take notes on?
Every artist here perfect their craft, and they have their own voice. So I think that Tucson has its own voice. That's every individual here that makes music has a unique voice, and they don't sound like each other. That's the one thing we get right for sure. It's very original.
What's missing from the scene right now that you wish someone would bring back or create from scratch?
Promoters.
Oh, yeah.
Promoters that promote correctly. People that are interested in the logistics of shows running and being done well.
But there was a pretty good, solid promoter scene, wasn't there, at a time, or is it?
There has been in the past. I just think that there's this big division. There's a lot of artists. There's a limited amount of venues. There needs to be somebody in between that's really good at facilitating shows and curating shows. I think that the artists are having to do too much of that right now. But it's hard to find someone that's, you know, that's interested in the business side of it. I think that there's enough people in that.
Everyone wants to be the artist, not the promoter, right?
It's also a really hard and bizarre time for information and how to receive what's going on where.
Yeah.
Aside from subscribing to venues' email lists, like I just don't know how people are getting information.
Stop it. Cut it out.
Okay, I'm gonna hit you with these few quick ones, then we'll get your 3 dish questions and get you out of here. Real quickly, let's talk Rhode Island Airbnb before I go to the dish. If this Airbnb that we stay at together is haunted,
yes,
who's most likely to make friends with the ghost? You, me, Adrienne, or Finn, or Sam?
Sam, Finn's girlfriend, Sam, for sure. I don't think she's ever met a stranger, and she's good with people, and I'm assuming she'd be great with spirits.
What about if you accidentally walk in on me performing a ritual with a lobster and a candle? What do? Join in or just slowly back out the door?
I'm gonna ask you if you need help. What can I do for you? You look busy. How can I help? We're gonna eat this lobster, right?
Yes.
You're cooking it over a candle.
Final one. Let's say we wake up and Adrienne's turned the Airbnb living room into a full-on Strange Famous Records merch booth. What's she already sold out of before we even had coffee?
I don't know. It's probably some sort of Sage Francis T-shirt that he only made 5 of.
It's something sage.
There
Something sage of 5.
are 2 articles of Strange Famous merch that I really, 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 really love. One is your Jivin hat, right?
Oh, yeah,
Isn't
that's us. It's great.
Yeah.
We don't do bad things.
And then I saw a yellow hat somewhere, and I maybe it was Mopes wrapping it or something. There was a yellow hat, and I don't know. I've never seen it again. I haven't really looked at the website.
I feel like they get whenever Storm or them do merch, I feel like they get really unique short runs of stuff, like colors.
Like
they'll only have
the
like
color.
10 hats that are yellow or something like that.
Yeah.
Is
the
it like
color of
your favorite
shirt.
yellow? Oh,
yeah,
the
like a
color
yellow
of-
ochre.
Oh.
Yeah.
Um,
I think I would sell out of those too. I'd purchase two.
Yeah, likely. Yeah. Timer's up. This is what I could do for you in the 45, but obviously by the time people are watching the episode, it'll be totally done.
Who's winning is the question.
Well, Dinky's got a bloody nose, so
Dinky got dinked.
and this is you can't really tell, but this is a watermelon.
Yeah. I don't know where the watermelon come from. The watermelon sunshine.
Yeah. And it might be falling onto his head.
I really, really loved that you watched the Pound Puppies.
Oh yeah.
I loved Pound Puppies so much.
It's puppies.
Yeah.
Could you not?
Okay, here. I got to close with pick your poisons. 3 pick your poisons, then we do your dish. Who would you rather share a tent with out camping, Owen Wilson or Owen Hart in his wrestling prime?
Owen Wilson. Owen Hart's too cakey for me.
He might not even fit in there.
Baddest dude in that tent. Prison rules.
What about if you had to add one to every meal for a year? Which are you picking? Owen's barbecue sauce or Owen's corn whiskey?
Owen's corn whiskey.
Yeah. And
Except
then
to have it as part of the meal.
Yeah, for every meal for a year.
I'm good. I can do that.
Would you rather host a Jameson whiskey tasting on St. Paddy's Day with one bartender, or host Clive Owen trivia night where every team is already drunk?
Oh, both of those sound horrible. I'm gonna go trivia night because St. Paddy's Day is a mess. I'd rather they're all drunk. You keep feeding booze to the animals until they disappear.
Boom. All right, I'm ready to be served.
DOD45.
It's raw. It's fucking raw.
How much do you charge for this dish?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Ask you what your interests are.
Do you like it? Who you gonna be talking to?
First things first, what's the best?
Talk, questions, conversations, laughter.
Table set. Thanks, Buddy Peace, for the theme music. Thanks, Runt, for dishing us your first, worst, and thirst. All right, here's your question for your first. What's the first food you remember absolutely hating as a kid, and do you still hate it?
Lima beans.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, still hate them. I don't know why. They're waxy and I don't enjoy them.
Are those the green? They're like green, shaped like a
big green,
tasteless,
chalky wax things. I'm not in.
Yuck.
Can't do it.
Yeah, that sounds yuck. I don't think I think I've had one when I was a kid, and I'll never have them again.
If you were like, you want to come over? I just made a giant pot of lima beans. I'm not in.
Get the fuck out of my face.
Lima beans? Oh, I've heard that.
Yeah. Gotta take this call. What was your worst tattoo decision? Not the tattoo itself, just the choice behind it.
I've got one. It's a ghost.
Oh, yeah.
But he looks like he has giant balls.
Camel toe.
I didn't, at the time, I was looking at the flash and I was like, yeah, it's a ghost. That looks great. And then afterwards, I was like, that's kind of, that part
It's funny.
And this jivin, where's the jivin? I have a jivin right here next to the ball one that me and some homies got drunk and was a really well-known DJ here in town, and we've been friends for a long time. But we got drunk, and he said, "You know, our tattoo artist friend said, you know, it'd be the most hip hop thing ever if you guys tattooed each other."
Oh shit!
And so we went to a shop after that, and then tattooed each other. And you know, I'm not mad about it. I love it, but it's also no one knows what it says, and it looks
just you. That's a lot of the tattoos are.
Oh, this man should have never done a tattoo.
What about? Let's see the crate real quick, and then I'll go to your thirst question.
Yeah, you did get it.
Yeah, right on the elbow.
On the elbow. Oh yeah, it looks good.
It does. Looks
standing
so great.
upright that way.
Murder was the case.
No one else has gotten it yet. I thought we were all going in on this. I'm really upset about it.
What's something you were obsessed with having as a kid that you finally got, but then ended up being like,
oh, and like wasn't excited about it?
Yeah.
I really got, like, when I got stuff, I was always really stoked. I feel like RC cars, definitely. I think the first time I got an RC car, I mean, this had to be like the early 90s. They looked awesome on TV, and I think my dad got me one from Radio Shack that required like 40 batteries to even operate.
That only lasted for 10 minutes?
Yeah, and it would die. And I just remember thinking, like, this is bullshit. These things rip on TV, and this thing can't even go up a hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, the technology was not there. Later in life, I bought ones on Amazon recently. I buy things on Amazon a lot. And I bought RC cars, and they're amazing. They're fast, cheap, they're great. But yeah, I just remember this big clunky thing that would die. And then my dad was like, we're not buying, I just bought batteries. I'm not buying anymore.
Yeah, that was, and they're so expensive.
Oh, batteries were, well, they are still expensive, but they were way expensive
you
then.
never get more.
God damn, that's a great answer. Because I remember people, I had a neighbor that would rip around, have his ripping around. We had a BMX bike track, and he would take it over the bike track and rip it. But it must have been a really expensive one. But I remember thinking, man, I want one of those.
I remember seeing a gas one when I was a kid and just fucking mind blown.
I think his was a gas one.
Yeah, the shitty ones you got at Walmart and Radio Shack were like, they barely even moved.
Yeah.
They were like the Leaf vehicle as opposed to the Tesla. Like, it was just horrible.
When we get to Rhode Island, I'm getting drunk and I'm ordering an RC car on. Maybe, well, I can't. I'm gonna have packed enough stuff. I'm already packing so much.
Let's
stuff,
get the address for the Airbnb and let's ship RC.
Ship them there.
There you go.
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, I'll hit you up about that later on.
Yeah, because I don't think you can fly with them.
No, well, then I'm going to be packing podcast gear. There you go, folks. We've been served. Check, please.
This is done, man. Brings them down to the shop.
All right, Runt, thank you so much. Hey, to get you out of here, what's the next move for you personally and professionally, I mean?
Come see us at Brickbox. I'm running an entire brewery, distillery. In downtown Tucson, Arizona. If you're a musician, you play Rialto, I'm right behind there. If you need to play somewhere, come see us. Right now the focus is zeroing in and making sure my community is good with the business that provides space for art and creativity. And and hopefully I'm starting to touch music again. And I think that maybe me and Finn might be back at it at some point soon here. Regardless, I'm going to get some stuff out, hopefully by the end of this year. And I'd love to share some new music with you guys. So check us out. Jivin Scientists all day, Strange Famous, DOD45.
Yeah, word.
Wait. But we didn't talk at all about your piece. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah.
His poem.
Yeah.
The laddie reckons himself a poet.
Yeah.
New car, caviar.
I'm surprised you guys accepted it. I was like,
I love it.
Posted up. I was like, I have this old typewriter.
I'm getting ready to post it. I've had it on my list of 2 posts.
Yeah. That's what you did it with.
Yeah, it's an old Sears typewriter. I found it at a thrift store, and I took forever to get like the ribbon for it. It's
That's a beautiful little typewriter.
It's amazing. It's this like Tiffany blue. But yeah,
there you go. Yeah, that's it, folks. That's where we were talking about your piece in the intro. That's what he typed it with right there.
Yeah, and I've been I enjoy the aesthetic of typing, and over the years, I've sent letters to friends and stuff.
Cute.
I just like the aesthetic of it and the look. And I think it's by doing the piece was an excuse to make something out of it.
Yeah. And it's a great piece of words. You're a fucking hell of a writer. I said it in the intro.
And it's an unexpected piece when you walk in too, as well. So it's really it's a good juxtaposition against everything else.
And
I
think I saw today. I think
plus it's beautiful.
I think I just saw that it sold too. So
someone bought it.
Yeah,
I like the price point on it.
That's what I said.
Yeah, it was like, "What do you want to charge for it?" And I just pulled all the numbers out from.
I loved it.
Yeah, no, it's so great. It's a great, and I know who bought it.
Well, we should give the people an opportunity to buy it before
you. I get to know who bought it.
I fucking want to buy everybody's shit that's in there.
Of course, that's
but we do it. We first
give Jivin fans an opportunity to get it.
We'll first give it an opportunity for
grubby
people.
hands all over it.
And who knows? I mean, if there's another gallery show, there'll be another piece. So
that's true.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think there will be another gallery.
There
show
will be for sure. All right, Runt. Well, we'll. I have a great deal of respect for you.
Thank you.
And your grind. Well, you're just fucking. It's just been a real pleasure forming a relationship with you over the last couple of years. So I appreciate you stepping in for this. And
of course,
yeah.
How many does Cass have?
Cass has 3. He might have 4.
Okay. Well, maybe this friendship isn't growing like I thought it was.
I think
we were going to try to do one in person with you, but we just didn't get time.
Yeah, we did.
Cass before you called me, and he wasn't available today.
No, because I did, but not to be the guest, but because he's got a segment at the beginning of this episode. So
Cass is on my episode now. Unbelievable.
Maybe.
Well, I think I just saw a text come in from him that he just sent the message in. So,
cool.
All right, man. Thanks so much for your time, and have a great night tonight. And our hope is that you guys are watching this episode at your brewery right now.
Are you open now on?
Oh, you guys aren't open on Tuesday nights, huh?
I am tomorrow.
Okay.
So hopefully, hello everybody.
Hey,
how is he on TV here?
The guy at the bar is great.
Somebody buy the guy at the bar a drink.
Yeah, I said I'd buy the whole round. Well, I'll buy this round, okay, and send you a check.
All right,
love
man.
you, Run.
Have a good night.
Be good.
Okay, peace. Yeah. There you go. Fantastic. That's Runt.
He is a fantastic Mr. Fox.
Oh shit, man! I just realized that this drawing has to be done too.
No, it doesn't.
For the episode?
Technically, it doesn't.
Well, I'll put a couple hours into it and then.
And then a couple hours into editing.
Yeah. There you go, guys. There's your man Runt from Jivin Scientists. It's always a pleasure talking to him. Hey, remember, humans, before you log off, don't forget our episode is not completely over until you've heard Blacklick's last words. He has some shit to teach you, so stick around to hear it, okay?
Okay.
All right, here's the finished drawing below. Dinky fighting Cooler. So
I actually, when we just did a show in Springfield, Missouri the other week, and there was a kid throwing a little pound puppy around, and it just made my heart so happy that, I don't know, they must be back.
No,
I mean, they must be
for that kid to be playing with it. I don't know.
Pound puppy.
They're probably on Netflix or something.
Maybe, but the toy.
I don't remember much about him. I remember looking up the toy when Runt messaged me and said that's what he wanted. I looked it up and saw. I remember the toy.
I had 2. I had one of the bigger ones, the brown one, and then a small one, and it was so cute because they would come in a little like to-go, not a to-go box, like a dog carrier.
Yeah.
A cardboard box.
Yeah, I remember that.
You just adopted them from the pound.
Yeah. I kind of.
And it came with like an adoption.
They have like
certificate.
A Beanie Baby vibe to them or something.
Not quite. No, they were more plush, and they had a little tattoo on their butt. of a heart.
Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah, I love stone puppies.
Well, so there you go. If you like this drawing or any drawing that I've done in the past, you can order prints of them at the DOD45.com. Please check out more of my art at Art by Ty on Instagram or at artbyty.com. Let's wrap up the episode. I mean, I could go on and on and on about how great Runt is, but you see it. You already know it. So we'll get on so we can get this. If you don't know, I'm editing this episode tonight right now. It's it doesn't matter. You're watching it. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
All right, we're gonna wrap up with some movie recommendations. My recommendation for tonight is a movie called Sinners.
I've been all over this world. I seen men die in ways I ain't even know was possible. Love you, brother. Be careful. I will.
It just came out. We just saw Sinners at the theater a couple of weeks ago, and I freaking loved it, and I haven't stopped thinking about it. It's been a movie that proves that it is a movie that proves Hollywood can still produce out-of-the-box movies and it be successful. So I hope that they recognize that and continue to make movies like this. It's directed by a dude named Ryan Coogler. He also directed Creed and Black Panther, and it's set in 1932 Mississippi. You should have heard of it by now. It should be still in the theaters. If it is, I would say don't miss it out. Go see it if you have it in your theater. It stars Michael B. Jordan, and he plays two twin brothers, Smoke and Stack. And he does such a great job at it that Adrienne actually thought it was two different actors. Or did you think they were real twins?
I didn't even know they were supposed to be twins.
Oh yeah, because they definitely are dressed differently and look.
Yeah.
But you knew they were related.
I know they were supposed to be brothers.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they were supposed to be twins.
Yeah, they really figured out how to do those kind of twin movies with one actor playing them, and it looked real, seemed real. It was very well done. Michael B. Jordan did a fantastic job.
Mm-hmm.
His character opens a juke joint, or the two characters, they open up a juke joint. And then supernatural powers lurk. It is a cool mashup of historical drama, vampire horror, and musical mysticism. People keep saying that the movie industry is dying, but if that's true, it is because they forgot how to make movies like this, or they forgot to greenlight movies like this. So as far as I know, the film's grossed over $280 million worldwide. And I think as of right now, or when I first wrote this down, it's becoming one of the highest grossing films in 2025.
More than Minecraft?
Well, probably not now more than Minecraft.
Okay.
But still, the
Still
fact that Minecraft is and what. Yeah.
No, this was a great movie.
Yeah. I love that it didn't blow the whole vampire element and it didn't get too corny once the fangs came out. It doesn't spoon feed the genre. It actually lets it all unfold naturally, which is very cool for a movie like this. There's a specific scene in the movie where the narrator talks about music summoning sounds and spirits across past and future timelines. I feel like they portrayed that visually and audibly really well. It tiered, it walked a very thin line, but of going corny or being... And that was just a hard tightrope to walk, and I feel like they pulled it off. And in fact, I teared up a little bit during it just because it felt so powerful to me. I think you told me you didn't quite love that, right? That doesn't matter.
I was worried that it was gonna. I was like, this movie's about to fall off.
And it didn't. That's what I think was cool about it. It came really close. It could have easily, any other producer I feel like could have, or director would have killed it. So I feel like this Ryan Coogler knows his way around cinema pretty well. So I was very impressed with that. It also made me nostalgic for this town, Clarksdale in Mississippi.
Yeah, I bet that's going to get a bit of attention this year.
Oh, I hope so. Yeah, we used to go to Clarksdale a lot. Being a big fan of the blues as I am, we used to go a lot. So watching the movie I felt really nostalgic for it, and I hope we go back soon to soak it all up again like we used to. I'm hoping for more out of the box movies like this one, without bandwagon kind of movies. You know, where people a whole bunch of movies they see that this one's so successful, and they're like, let's make a whole bunch of like this, because that's what I feel like Hollywood needs to stay away from, that whole trend following shit, because they do a lot of that. Sinners, the score and the music is fucking amazing. It's obviously got a Delta blues sound, but it's got this real cool modern take on it as well. Not only, you know, kind of does them both. And it's already being praised as one of the most original films in years. Here's just a real quick. There's a few things that I learned about the movie. Although it was filmed in Clarksdale, Mississippi, the production took place entirely in Louisiana. Filming locations included New Orleans, Donaldsville, which we've been to. It's a kind of interesting place. Labodyville, and Bogalusa. All those locations were chosen for their historical architecture and atmospheric settings that effectively represented the 1930s Mississippi Delta. The filmmakers, though, they still made significant efforts to authentically portray Mississippi, including casting actual Mississippi Choctaw individuals and accurately representing Choctaw language and culture in the film, which I think is cool. Would have been maybe even cooler to actually film it. But hopefully, you know, they employed a bunch of people from the area, because those are areas that have been devastated by
the oil industry.
Yeah, just the job loss and
hurricanes,
and all that stuff. Yeah. Interestingly, though,
they're taking advantage of areas.
Yeah,
I think in my
exploited.
Exploited.
Clarksdale currently doesn't have an operational movie theater, which is wild. And I read somewhere that local residents have initiated a petition to bring a screening of Sinners to their community so that they can watch it. They may have that now. Yeah. That may have already happened. But like you mentioned to me when we talked about this before, Adrienne, Morgan Freeman should invest in a theater.
Yeah.
And I say that to you listeners out there because Morgan Freeman owns a place called Ground Zero right there in the heart of Clarksdale, Mississippi. And he still actively is involved with the place. And I just saw this. In fact, on New Year's Eve in 2024, Morgan Freeman joined Al Green on stage for a duet of "Let's Stay Together."
Oh, cute!
Yeah, can you imagine if we just be in at that place, Ground Zero?
We've never been to Ground Zero on a weekend.
Yeah, that's true.
We did make a Thursday. That's the night that we first went there.
The other owner, yeah.
No, I mean the very first night we went there, and it started really popping off. Because on a Tuesday it can be a little bit slow, but
yeah,
I'm sure on New Year's. You said it was New Year's?
Yeah, it was on New Year's Eve, 2024. Awesome. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, how great would that have been? But yeah, so yeah, if you're, I know this was about the movie, but if you happen to go into Clarksdale, Mississippi, Morgan Freeman owns Ground Zero. But if you got to get an even really, really gritty taste of Delta blues and like a blues bar scene, go right across the street is a place called Red's. That's where people will tell you like that's where you get the real shit. But you can go back and forth between the two.
I mean, it's not a big town.
No, I know. Yeah. All right, I'll get us out of this movie share. Sorry. What were you going to say? Sorry. Adrienne.
No, I was going to say you can walk the whole town in about 1 minute.
Yeah. It's really small. It was also rad to see Buddy Guy in the movie. I won't spoil how he turns up in that, but Buddy Guy's in the movie. And it was really cool seeing Saul Williams back on the big screen. Saul Williams is in the opening scene of the movie. He's great. I don't know where I'm going. My verdict is the movie is awesome. Go see it. I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. All right, Adrienne, do you have a song share?
I do. And while I am not at all a fan of the patriarchy, I do recommend the song Patriarch.
I am the nothing, I am the wolf, I am the eye of the storm. Yeah, I'm caught up, there's a knife in the back, blood on a blade and an eye in the crack. Panic attack on a lung collapse, thumbs up on the fall of the umberlax. Yeah, I come from that, let me die right now while I come with class. With a hand to the sky like I'm catching my breath, cover my steps but dance in the dark. Head in my heart while I catch my spark with an etch in the part that'll exit the art with an axe.
Bye. Sorry, Runt.
Now you're going to have to say sorry to Cass for saying sorry that you...
Well, now I'm like, I should have had 2 songs. I should have had a Jivin song and a Cass song.
No.
So this is by Cass won Bitter Steven and Dizzy Wolf.
Yeah, Dizzy Wolf produced it.
So my apologies, Run.
It's a great song.
But it's also because we have a thing with Cass tomorrow, so it's like we should have. I do like this song.
Yeah.
So we should have a Cass song as well.
Yeah, it's called Patriarch. Cass 1 described the song as an exploration of how art can make one feel like a king one day and a peasant the next. Ultimately illustrating the idea that while artists may feel they master their art, it often ends up mastering them. But it's a cool track. Good song share. My song share is a song called Texas Funeral by John Wayne.
She peed on the carpet and she shot my horse. And now things have gone from better to bad to worse. Texas and whiskey.
It's the title track from the Cult album Texas Funeral. It was released in 1985, reissued by Third Man Records in 2010. It's alt country, cowpunk, and something that they call satirical Americana. It gained cult status after it turned up in From Dusk Till Dawn. That's where I first heard it, and after I heard it, I used it several times in some of my experimental movies when I was in film school and college. I guess it was originally intended for Pulp Fiction, but they couldn't get in touch with the band until years later, and that's when they were producing From Dusk Till Dawn. So, but can you imagine? That would have been huge for them.
I see what you just did there.
What?
You used the song you used on the Broken episode.
What? Yeah, because I want to get this song in there.
I've been trying to find the perfect song all day. I could have went and used the last one.
Well, yeah, you can use that in the next one because I'd like to get them in there. But can you imagine how big that would have been for them? I mean, it was fine, but because that Pulp Fiction soundtrack was one of the top-selling soundtracks of all time, movie soundtracks. Right. But yeah, anyway, speaking of out-of-box vampire genres, From Dusk Till Dawn was definitely one of those. But Sinners didn't go off the rails like From Dusk Till Dawn did. I feel like
remember Dust. I tried to watch it with you guys as a family this last Halloween, but nobody was into it. So
Dusk Till Dawn really goes off the rails.
I don't remember it going off the rails.
It's fun, but
really
it gets
liking it.
When the vampires show up, it just turns into pure chaos, but fun chaos. Chaos with Tom Savini in it, and I recently reached out to Tom Savini to be a guest on the show. He said he was definitely interested. And then I followed up with, "Hey, what days will work for you?" It's been crickets.
We'll see. You'll work on that.
Anyways, the song Texas Funeral. It's a cool song. It's now on the DOD45 song share playlist as is Patriarch from Cass 1. Patriarch. It's a fun playlist. I play it regularly in our gallery, in our art booth, in the car. It's eclectic enough to work wherever. So go subscribe to the DOD45 song share playlist on Spotify called DOD45 Loves, LUVS. If you like the music there, please do consider supporting the artists who've made the music financially in some way or some form or fashion. Thank you, everybody.
Wait, do we want to talk about Cass?
I'm going to.
Now? Oh,
thank you, everyone, for joining us on the show.
Sorry.
Be sure to go out to Runt's place in Brickbox in Tucson, Arizona. It's a really rad spot, and even radder people running it. Mm-hmm. Snatch up all the music that you can from Jiving Scientists because it's all good. Every single one of it. There is not a fucking bad apple in the bunch. Not one.
Even he sent us really, really, really old music from a long, long time ago, like their first stuff ever, and that was good.
Yeah, it's all good.
Just like, wow, how did you guys make good music right away?
They're just that good.
It's not fair.
Because he's a grinder. It's just like it just runs in his blood. Dettlebrook, I think, is Dettlebrook going to be returning in October? I don't know. I'm only bringing that up because I'm hoping that Strange Famous folks are here still in the live chat or listening to the episode. We've offered to help where we can. So if it happens, I'm down for it. I fucking love the whole concept of Dettlebrook. So yeah, if you're somebody out there who doesn't know what Dettlebrook is, it's the soundtrack by Strange Famous Records, produced by Mopes. It's just all good stuff.
Available on Bandcamp.
We are going to Rhode Island for my birthday to catch the Strange Famous show at Ocean Mist in Matanook, Rhode Island. Gonna go see most of the Strange Famous family there. Very excited for that. We're gonna be staying in an Airbnb with Runt and Fen and his girl Sam. It is the Ocean Mist is a legendary seaside bar and music venue known for hosting live shows, especially in reggae, jam, punk, and hip hop scenes. And Sage Francis has a long history with the venue. It's where he first performed 25 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. And he's returning there July 12th, 2025 as part of his Strange Famous tour. So we'll get tickets now if they're not already sold out, because that one's going to be a fun one. We'll all be there enjoying it. And I think, more on that will come as we get closer. I'm excited for the Pee Wee Herman documentary. I just wanted to put that in there. If you didn't know, Max is coming out with the Pee Wee Herman documentary, and it looks really great. It's like Paul Rubens as himself telling his story. And you rarely ever would get him not in character, talking real. So I'm looking forward to that. It looks great. Thanks for watching the show. Thanks for supporting the art. The time slot's going to be Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, whenever we have episodes. That's now the official time slot. When there's an episode, it'll drop. Might be 3 weeks, might be every week, whatever. That's the deal, okay? Tomorrow night, everybody, don't miss fellow Strange Famous Records rapper Cass One's live performance at our gallery for the Old Blue Gallery live performance.
Concert series.
It's a 30-minute live performance inside of our tiny little gallery. And that starts at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
Wednesday night.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow night. It's only 30 minutes. Set your reminders, set your phone, set alarms. Join us in the live chat for that. Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun performance. It was filmed. Our kids' band, Slughead, it was filmed the same night that we did theirs back in October of 2024. And it's being released tomorrow night. First time anyone's viewing it. And it's fun.
It is
Cass
fun. It was a
fun
great
performer.
night, and he is a great performer.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
And then really, I think it was really gracious of him to come out and do it.
Oh, of course it was. Yeah, and he just stayed for a couple of days, and we got to hang out with him. We went down to St. Louis, and yeah, it was just a really fun experience. And we'll be bringing you more of those Old Blue live concert series as
they come.
Yep. Our kids' band, Slughead, they have a new album dropping this week as well.
And I miss your smile, beating and defying. More than often, quite frequently, you see secretly I'm fond of a boy I met summers ago.
I think it's on, their album's dropping on the 16th. You can. I think the album is called Jimmy's Tears.
Jimmy Cry.
Or Jimmy Cry. It's fun. I've only heard one song from it, so I'm really looking forward to hearing that. You can also watch their Old Blue live performance after you watch Cass One's. So after Cass's ends and you still want more music.
Or before.
Yeah, watch theirs. Oh yeah, or before. Subscribe and review, people. It matters to somebody. So please do that for us.
It matters to a computer algorithm out there.
Yeah. For more people to see these episodes and for us to be able to continue. Let's get out there and leave us some reviews, drop some stars, and drop some subscribes, all that shit. Go to oldbluegng.com website to see all the art that's currently up in our gallery for the Little Things Group Show. There's some amazing and affordable artwork in there, and it's all available online. But it ends this month. Quit fucking sleeping on it. You're snoring.
May 24th.
May 24th it ends, so do it. Go get Runt's poem. It's really cool.
It is cool. You can see it online.
Yeah. All right, that's us done. Adrienne, you got any final words? That's us done. Thanks for spending time. Thanks for spending your evening with us. Tell your friends and family about the DOD45 Show and have a terrific week. Now marinate on these last words from Black Lick. Peace.
Yeah, I got some last words.
Any last words? I have a couple.
Rush growth is no better than forced growth, and both are usually traumatic. Two things I don't do: worry and hurry. Because if you run past it, you're not getting ahead. A lot of times you're running in place. There's a Chinese proverb that says, "He who hurries cannot walk with dignity." I believe that shit. I've lived that shit, because if you try to skip through something, you're gonna miss a whole lot. And a lot of people want to grow up fast, especially when I was a kid. You know, some of these fast ass people out here, they want to grow up right away. They want to grow, they want to go out and party, they want to fuck around, do whatever it is. By the time we all naturally progressed to whatever place it may have been, they were already burnt. They weren't educated, they were just burnt out. And they were unable to enjoy this journey in life and that phase of it. And so then they had to indulge in pretending and suffering more than we already all are. The other side of that is like the DMX line, you know what I'm saying, where he says, "A man who was never a boy. Life will fuck you up." I'm proof of that. Life shit'll happen. My childhood ended at like 4th or 5th grade. My pops is ended when he was like a fucking baby or some shit, because he saw his dad kill his mom in front of him. You know, this life shit'll happen, and it'll put you in a place where you ain't got no choice but either to adapt to survive or die. And that shit'll fuck you up. Just like how trying to pretend that you already grew up, trying to get ahead, that shit'll get you in some waters you ain't ready for. I mean, you gotta take your time and let time take you to where you're going, because you're always gonna be where you're supposed to be. The thing is, though, it's up to you to decide how much of your vast potential you want to assign to be your purpose. Because you can do anything until you decide to do something.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
DOD45.
Thank you for joining in on yet another episode of the DOD45 Show. Please hit the subscribe or follow button so that you never miss an episode. You can even go one step further by leaving us a review on the YouTube stream or on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or wherever it is that you stream our show from. You can find me at Art by Ty on all the socials or at artbyty.com. And if you'd like to follow the DOD45 Show on social media, we're at DOD45W on Instagram, or you can go over to our website at DOD45.com, where you can shoot us an email, join our mailing list, and watch all of our past episodes. Consider joining us for a live chat on the YouTube premieres of episodes now every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Peace.